Hey everybody, this is Brian from Maximum Libertarian. I'm joined today by who? Who are you?
It's Dean here.
There you go. Yeah, we step on each other's every time, I believe. But if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and then what should they do?
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button and share it, correct. So today's big topic is Hollywood has bowed down again to China. So let's look at this. John Cena has to apologize in Mandarin for calling Taiwan a country. Surprise, surprise. Let's just take a look at it. This comes from the New York Post.
Hold up, can we even see John Cena?
Let's see. Where's the sound? Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, as long as you can.
The question is, can you even see John Cena?
No, I cannot. Let's back it up. I don't know. Let's see if I can hear it through here. Well, there you go. Straight from John Cena's mouth.
First of all, he shouldn't have to apologize for nothing. Second of all, China can't even see him. And third of all, he needs a haircut. But we're not even going to go into that real quick.
Right. Well, the whole idea that China has been controlling Hollywood for now.
Oh, for sure.
Several years. Like, for instance, I remember when there was talk at the new Red Dawn was supposed to be China invading the United States. And China said, no, you're going to switch everything to North Korea. So then it turned into North Korea invading China. I was looking online here, and it said that China does about $8.9 billion, and that's how much Hollywood brings in. And the United States right now, we do about $11.9 billion or something to that nature. So they're trying to keep that money, but at what point do you bow down to these censors? You
don't bow down.
You shouldn't, but at the same time, I understand everyone wants to make money. You're running a business, but this don't make sense to me.
I want to give them any money. You know what? People make mistakes all the time, so why should you have to apologize for if you mistake in a country? I mean, yeah, it just shows that he doesn't know his world history extremely well. But
who don't know the world history?
I mean, calling Taiwan a country, but then again, it kind of is. So just because China doesn't want it to be doesn't mean it isn't.
Well, I believe they are a country.
They are a country. What I'm saying, but the Chinese don't want you to believe that Taiwan.
That's only.
And it's kind of like Hong Kong. Like Hong Kong wants to be separated, and Chinese are like, no, this is ours.
Right. And what we're doing to the world is bowing down to them. So let's just go over here to the heritage, how China is taking control of Hollywood. You can find all these links on our description below. Once again, you have individuals talking about how China controls and can pretty much control whatever and censor whatever they want in the Hollywood industry.
Yep, they don't care. They have and the sad part is they have so much money. It's not even real. They're corrupting the shit out of our country. Our dollar's going to hell. You know what? Actually, when we're talking about money and different things, there actually is a really good book by my Mises. It's on understanding money and also understanding credit, and it's really an interesting book if you like wanting to understand economics even more than you do now. I'll give that plug. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the caucus, but the actual deep downside Mises philosophy is rather good when it comes to money. So, and even my brother's going to read it. He seemed pretty interested in what little he read. So, these other countries are going to, China's been around for a long time, been messing with the United States, and you know, like it or not, we can debate whether what happened with COVID is a biological attack on the world. I mean, was it? We seem to know that it came out of a lab in Wuhan, China. Now that's where that's where everything starts to get really gray. But in a reality, if they did, in a thought process, just playing devil's advocate, if they did, that was a good way to, crush the economy around the world. So you have to look at it in a weird way sometimes to think, hey, is that possibly what happened?
Right.
They've been studying this stuff for years and years, but see, the problem is you have things like Bill Gates and them already, knew about this type of virus being there, and that's where it gets kind of weird and more gray. Like the United States have a part in this. I don't like just playing conspiracy theory, but just an odd group of events. The good news is things are starting to open back up. The numbers are really low, getting really low. And if we keep this up, we're going to be in good shape. We'll go back to back to normal that we were prior to this. Unfortunately, we lost way too many lives to this virus, and it's your personal choice whether you get the vaccine or not. And I always said that, and I don't want to push it on anybody. I share when they're having clinics because obviously I am. I know that you said you are not, but you had it, and it wasn't very strong for you, but you personally had effects really close to home because of it. And it's one of those things that you just think about, like, what happens if it was used as a biological weapon? They basically committed hundreds of thousands of murders.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to really start going down that rabbit hole of the lab and things of that nature, we were sending money to that lab.
That's my point. That's where I said in the
United States government has as much blood on its hands as China. When you come, now, is it bad? Absolutely. Is it bad for people with pre-existing things? Absolutely. But when you look at the deaths that happened from 2019 to 2020, there's no spike. So in turn, I get the concept of shutting the place down if this was a real pandemic. And I understand at the beginning why we would shut it down.
And if anything,
seeing things happen,
if we learned anything from this, masks work well to keep the flu in check. So you wonder why all those years that China really didn't have a crap load of flu issues, but you always saw those videos with their people wearing, because of smog too, wearing the masks, the surgical masks. So you wonder, because of that, can we use masks in the wintertime to stop spreading as much flu and stuff like that to actually make this place healthier?
Well, the
healthier part is what you do, is your zinc and all those. That's just good. That's vitamin C, vitamin D. You get all those things, and you can get them in multivitamin type ways of doing it. Keep your immune system strong. You said it from the beginning on that. I think that's why you fare so well.
Right. Now, I also think what the problem is too, because I think, if you want obviously I can't factually back this up, but I do think some of the numbers were cooked.
Oh, I agree.
I don't. So in turn, so instead of us being able to sit down and make an actual, how do we fight something, you can't, because everything was being diagnosed as COVID. And
unfortunately, it was politically driven. All political.
There was a lot of politics done in that. And there's a lot of politics now, because when Trump was in office, we were on the way of dying. Everyone, you just step outside, you're going to, and air hits your face, you're going to be caught, you're going to catch it, and you're going to die. That wasn't the reality. Sadly, when Trump gets out of office, the mainstream media comes out and says, "Oh well, they quit talking about it like they were talking about it when it was with President Trump."
Well, we have a liberal, for the most part, we have a liberal media. That's
Oh, absolutely got a liberal media. And what you've got now, you had Jack Taper, is that his name, from, or Jake Taper
Tapper.
from CNN was on Joe Scarborough, and I was reading just like what was said. I did not watch the video, but they were talking about, well, maybe we shouldn't be so hard on the Trump administration, and maybe we should be trying to be a little bit more, paraphrasing, they should be trying to give both sides equal treatment. And that will not last, and that will not happen. Let's not fantasize. But they're already, we don't know. So in turn, we don't even know how to fight something because we politicized it. The numbers are all over the place.
And Fauci had his hands deep in it too.
Well, he's had his hands deep in for a long, long, long time. But we're supposed to hold him up. We're supposed to hold up Cuomo up there in New York.
Oh, they made action dolls out of him.
You can easily look up and see these states that did no shutdown. And granted, I know like South Dakota probably don't have the large population like a California or whatever, but Florida, things of that nature. You needed people outside. You needed to keep this business running. But we will never talk about the suicides. We will not talk about the
that's the horrible part.
The loss of marriages, child abuse going up, all of this stuff. We're not going to talk about that because we got to make sure Orange Man is bad.
Oh, you're right, because here's the issue. You have all that mental illness. That's just people being alone. The mental illness it was sick. It's sick the amount of people. Your alcohol rates went up. Your drug overdose rates went up. It just is horrible what happened as a side effect of shutting some people the country down. It really is, and it's just sickening to me that there has to be a happy medium of protecting.
But now we've got this nonsense with if you're not vaccinated, there's talk of some restaurants having like two sections, non-vaccinated and vaccinated. That makes absolutely no sense. If I'm not vaccinated and I'm sitting over in the corner coughing off, I shouldn't be out there if I'm sick. But
you should have personal responsibility not to go out.
That's personal responsibility. But just the ignorance that we did, little piece of plexiglass, but I can stick my face around it, and we're talking now face to face. We were like knee-jerk reaction, just pretending to act like things were cool. Look, people coming out to the gas pumps, wiping down stuff at the golf.
We're not even going to go there. That was a big hoax also for Memorial Day to jack prices up. If you don't think that, then you have an issue.
Well, that's normal though for them to jack prices up when it's heavy use. And the problem is right now is we're going to blame Joe Biden as he's the reason and he's the cause of this. But this has been going on for a long, long, long time.
But you can partially blame that party for their ideas of wanting to cut coal and all this other stuff. They're against they want green new energy. And I just watched a thing last night. I got to find that article maybe for another day about, and maybe it was Stossel. It was really good about green new energy, and it was really in depth about it. I just put up a thing if you want to see how this country, how our state, a little rocky there, and then we got up here. What was that? The winter time, right around January, and then plop. We're probably better than when we started. I think right at this point. I think yesterday they had 76 in the state. We only had 76. We had 600 today. I knew that was going to happen because Mondays are always lower numbers, but still 600. We were talking about thousands 2 months ago. So, and this is overall the whole pandemic. So, the easing back restrictions is shown by science. That's why the restrictions are being eased right there. That's just scientific data.
We can all march around and say, follow science, but I really don't. I think a lot of times people just say that just to sound smart. Because if they were really wanting to follow science, then they would be talking like when we talk about climate change or whatever, we would actually put everything on the table and say, hey, should we look at nuclear? Hey, should we look at this? Hey, should we look at but they don't want to. So in turn, I think saying follow the science is just nonsense. Personally, it's just a talking point of someone trying to sound smart. So
Here's my next thing for you. Did you know tonight they're having a vice lieutenant governor debate?
no.
Channel 7 put it up, and there's another good one to look at. That station just put up this major increase. This is how the media plays it. Major increase of cases from yesterday. Idiots. 76 to 600 ain't a major increase. It's normal. That's how the media plays it. You see what I'm saying? But that's where I got the link that they're going to be. I think they might be going off the Democratic page. I'm not sure how they're doing, if it's going to be on TV or not. But if you want to watch the Democrats, see who, if you are a Democrat in Virginia, and let's see who you might like for lieutenant governor. There's your way to do that. I'm not trying to piss on Republicans or Democrats right now. I'm trying to say, hey, and as a libertarian, hey, we don't have anybody running. There is the Constitution Party. I'll talk about that real quick. The chairman of the Constitution Party kind of wants to reach out with the Libertarian Party because they have somebody running for state. They have a few people wanting to run for state, state leadership, and they put less into the House of Delegates. I think there's some things that libertarians and the Constitution Party heavily agree on. So, what I say is open up your mind to ideas from all different. You may have Democrats with good ideas. You may have Republicans with good ideas, Constitutions, Greens. Work where you can work with people in those areas. Social justice.
I will look and help where if it makes sense. I'm not going to join in on a Democrat or a Republican just because they're Republican or Democrat.
Oh no, I'm not saying vote for them.
Everyone high-fiving each other because legalization of marijuana or recreational use here in the state of Virginia.
I'm basically looking at.
Hold on, that's terrific. But the problem is when these two parties take our ideas, they completely destroy them. They'll run up taxes on stuff. They'll make it. They'll turn something that's legal into a black market.
Yep.
So in turn, I remember when the NSA got exposed by Edward Snowden, and they were going. There's going to be a big rally up in D.C. about the government spying on its own citizen, and the Democrats come out and go, "Oh, absolutely not." Don't let the libertarians become part of them, But I want to get back real quick before we end this thing. Just China and Hollywood. I think censorship's horrible.
I was just basically saying, as a party, we need to try to work with some of these parties to get some of our platform stuff pushed.
They've been taking our stuff. They've taken marriage equality. And what we need is government out of the thing of marriage. The end. They've taken, God knows you can't work with neither one for gun control or protecting your Second Amendment because they both want to enact gun control measures.
Oh yeah, there's both sides of the stick of that.
So, I really let's work where we can work, but at the same time, who cares? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm back.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Looking up something.
Okay.
But I couldn't find what I was looking up to promote. But yeah, it's just like we sit in this circulating pattern, unfortunately, of people that keep going back and getting scared into voting for Democrats and Republicans. And we have to figure out how to stop that. I mean, we have to try to figure out how to stop that. The more we get people out there, the more we have affiliates, the more we have visibility, the better off we're going to be.
Right, absolutely. So there we go. There's your website.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I didn't update the thing. Sorry about
That's
that.
fine.
The new Twitter handle is what? Davison4HOD 19.
Davison4HOD19. Yep, I made it so much easier that even a caveman could find it.
Right.
And of course, like I said, we have I can't see very well, but our IDs that I had made up. There's yours.
Okay.
For every one of us on the staff, and I have buttons. So I just want to look us professional. And I mean, interesting story this past weekend. I went out with Caesar, went locally. I actually said, you know what, let me try some local like trailer / houses that are close together in my district. We went into this. They say it's a elderly, not really elderly, not a whole bunch of elderly people in there. There's some, but not all of them. A community of mobile homes / modular homes. And we started knocking on doors very well. Everybody answered. Most of them signed a petition, no problem. And I had looked prior on the election list, which is even better, that most of those people do vote. So we get to this one guy, and he's like, didn't you see the sign at the start of this? This is no soliciting, no trespassing area. This is private. I said, no, sir, it is not. Because I had read the sign coming in, and the only sign it says was what it was, the community it was, and speed limit 5 miles an hour. There was no soliciting signs. There was no trespassing signs, except for on his house, which I didn't trespass on his property. But he was being a horse's butt, and I was like, he's like, I'll call the owner of this trailer park, and I'll call the cops. I said, go for it, sir. I said, you're not taking my ability to collect signatures away on something that you say is posted that is not. So it worked out well. At the end of the day, we wound up with 2 sheets full more of signatures, and even a Trumper that likes my policies. That was weird. He had the word freedom on his house, like put on his house, made it look pretty cool. It had red, white, and blue all over it. And I said, yes, this is what it's all about right here. And I pointed at freedom, and he read my card, and I was happy about that. It's like if you talk to people, especially in my district, we're talking about, you put that up there. They may like Republicans when it comes to presidential, but around here in my district, it is very independent minded. Like they want their local government to work for them, and they haven't had that for years. So in turn, I have people that in that area that said, hey, come back here, talk more. I'd probably take one of your signs. I'll vote for you. And it was a good feeling.
Well, that's good to hear. All right.
I should hear more on the from Bedford County. They opened the elect system. The forcefulness that I pushed to the Department of Elections actually, and the help ticket that the county pushed in actually opened the elect system. So once again, as vice chair of the party, I thought it was very important that we pushed heavily and had to push the word litigation if things don't turn around to get this opened up. But you know what? Push hard. Be a libertarian. And I wrote another thing. You could read what I've been very vocal in the last 24 hours, but about being a libertarian. If you're a libertarian, you're watching this, and even if you're not in the state, find your local affiliate. If you can't find your local affiliate, if you don't have a local affiliate, try to start one. Okay? Help the campaigns. If you can't donate money, get out there and help them collect signatures. Help them, promote the party candidates. Stop being a keyboard warrior and sitting behind a keyboard the whole time, and get out there. And that's how this party as a whole, is going to move forward.
Yeah,
I was very passionate last night. For many reasons, I got very passionate last night on 2 posts, and it's got a lot of good talk going on. So it has to be done sometimes. You have to be a leader sometimes. That everything you say may not be what everybody wants to hear, but the only way you're going to change the party or keep the party moving forward is to make that stance.
Right. So. All right, man. So that's it. We'll call it a day. Once again, if you haven't already, please click button and hit that notification bell, and follow us on Twitter.
Smash the like button,
Smash that like button.
share it,
Share the video.
and remember, China can't even see John Cena.
All right. See you later. Have a good day.